Hello children, today we are going to continue lesson number 2, the Mesopotamian Civilization, and we'll be studying about the town planning. Let us see how the cities were planned in Mesopotamia. The cities were divided into 3 main areas: the sacred area, the walled city on a mount, and an outer town. The sacred area or the temple area had a ziggurat dedicated to the patron god of the city. Each city had their own chief god. A ziggurat was built on a mount or a rectangular structure forming a platform, a base of mud bricks. This platform was 50 feet high. There were multi-story structures decorated with tiles, precious stones, and marbles. A ziggurat had smaller temples in it, dedicated to other gods. Ziggurat had offices and storehouses. The buildings in the cities were made of burnt bricks. The people resided in the walled city. These walls were constructed to protect the city from enemy attack. Houses were built along the streets. Every house had a courtyard and rooms around it. Religion. The Mesopotamians believed in many gods and goddesses. The chief among them were An, Enlil, Marduk, Ishrat, and Nabu. They also worshipped different forces of nature. In the Mesopotamian civilization, each city had its own special god as its patron. A temple or ziggurat was dedicated to the patron god. The temples were built beautifully. The Mesopotamian people believed in life after death. Many articles of daily use have been discovered from the graves. They thought that dead would need these things in the life beyond. Occupation. Being a river valley civilization, agriculture was the main occupation of the people. They grew barley, corn, dates, fruits, and vegetables. Another important occupation was domestication of animals. They domesticated animals like sheep, goat, donkey, and cow. Metal workers like the blacksmith and goldsmith made progress in their crafts. Weaver and pottery makers were very skillful. The potter's wheel was in fact first used by the Mesopotamians. Trade and commerce. They were the earliest known traders who traded with many countries including India. Both internal and foreign trade flourished in Egypt and the Mediterranean countries. Art and architecture. Hanging Gardens was built by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II for his queen Amatis, as she missed her homeland, green hills and valleys. Ziggurats. The ziggurat were temples which had several stories. One of their greatest contributions in the field of architecture was the introduction of architectural features like columns, domes, vaults, and arches. Script and literature. The Sumerians developed a system of writing known as cuneiform. The script was web-shaped, written from right to left, with the help of a pen made of reed or bone called the stylus. They had developed around 350 signs. They wrote on tablet of clay, which they later dried in the sun or baked it. These tablets are the treasure houses of information on this civilization. Gilgamesh is the most popular epic describing the tale of a legendary hero of the name. It was one of the earliest literary works. Hammurabi's Code of Law. Hammurabi was the greatest king of Babylon. He established the Babylonian Empire and became famous for his code of laws. These laws were 282 in number and carved on both sides of a 8 feet high stone. It was placed in the temple of Marduk, the sun god. The laws dealt with theft, murder, and cheating. The code also informed about various actions that were considered as crime. Progress in science. This civilization opened to the world the vast expanses of knowledge in the areas of literature, mathematics, astronomy, etc. They possessed great knowledge in mathematics. 60 was an important unit in their system of numerals. They were the first to divide an hour into 60 minutes and a minute into 60 seconds. They also divided a circle into 360 degrees. They were the first to develop algebra and geometry. It is they who coined the digits 1, 10, 100. In the field of astronomy, they gave different names to different stars and planets. They developed a calendar with 12 months in a year, 30 days in a month, and 24 hours in a day. They divided days and nights into 12 hours each. Decline. The civilization came to an end when nomads destroyed Nineveh in the 7th and 6th century BCE. The people also migrated to other areas, and the forces of nature eroded and ultimately buried this great civilization. With this, we come to an end of this chapter. I hope that you have realized that the Mesopotamian civilization was one of the greatest civilizations of its time and has indeed enriched our understanding of ancient history.